the Chronicle Sports Blog. I'm Andy Moore. Alongside me is Taylor Doherty. We're here today to break down the South region of the NCAA tournament, where Duke is the #1 seed. Taylor, what are your overall thoughts on the bracket?
Well, certainly Duke, first of all, by getting the #1 seed at all, which was a doubt a week ago. But overall, Duke really has to be happy about this draw. Having Villanova, Baylor, and Purdue as the other top seeds in their region is a good thing for Duke. Duke matches up well with Villanova, and overall, I mean, if anything, Duke fans have nothing to complain about, but other people might have a little bit to complain about if they think the draw is a little too easy.
You're right. It is a very easy draw, and frankly, I'm not sure how Duke did it. The case can be made that the bracket that they're in is easier than Kansas's, the #1 overall seed. One of those people who has made that case in recent days is Jason Whitlock. He wrote a column today suggesting that Duke got this bracket because of TV ratings. What are your thoughts on that column? And certainly it was a little controversial. What are your thoughts on the controversy that will probably be coming around with that?
I thought he brought up an interesting point. I thought it was a good read just to remember that those things are in play. And of course, any time that Duke, Kentucky, Kansas, North Carolina is good, that's great for the NCAA. I thought the column, though, was a little bit of a conspiracy theory. I didn't think there was enough backing it up there. What did you think?
Well, no, I totally agree with you. I think that there really were no solid points that he seemed to draw back on, and a lot of it seemed to base on the fact that Duke has 3 white starters, and a lot of times, people will look at that and not really see that it's still a good basketball team.
And I think the point he makes that Duke's bracket is perhaps too easy is completely fair. I just would have liked to hear a little bit more about where he was getting these ideas he sort of threw out there.
No, you're right. You're right. They are just ideas kind of thrown out, but
let's get to the bracket.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get to the bracket. So Duke in the first round will be playing the play-in game, which will be either Winthrop or Arkansas Pine Bluff. Any thoughts on the 16 seed this year?
I don't know. I think since a 1 seed has never lost to a 16 seed, I think if they lose, we'll need to do a separate podcast. I think for now we can just pass up on that and get back to it later.
Yeah, that will be definitely podcast worthy if that were to happen. Second round, though, Duke will probably have a tougher matchup. They'll be playing either Cal or Louisville. Let's talk about the Cal team, and one of the prominent players on the team used to be a prominent Dookie.
Well, he was a Dookie. I don't know if I'd call him a prominent Dookie. Jamal Boykin, transferring after freshman year, didn't get much time as a Blue Devil, but you're right in the sense that he sort of emerged as a pretty good player now. He's averaging 12 points a game, almost 7 rebounds, and so maybe while at Duke he was remembering for just coming in and slapping the floor, he's producing now for Cal.
He is, and he was a Pac-10 Player of the Week last week, and he played very well during the Pac-10 tournament. It's good to see that he really had the chance to go out there and get some good minutes for a team. So we'll either have Cal or they're playing Louisville in the first round. What are your thoughts on the Louisville team, and a team that I see probably barreling over Cal in the first round?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people, at least on Duke's campus, are more afraid of the Louisville matchup. Nobody wants to see Duke play them. No one's even talking about Cal. And it's one of these things where, maybe Cal does win the first round, but I think the Cameron Crazies, at least, will be a lot more nervous if we're matched up against Rick Pitino's team.
And there are a lot of matchup problems with this Louisville team. They have Edgar Sosa, a quick guard that is going to be a little tough for perimeter defense to really guard him. I've seen Shire have trouble over this year guarding these quick guys like Grievous Vasquez and the Georgetown guards. So that's going to create some matchup problems. They also have Samardo Samuels, a big 6'9", 270-pound forward that will probably be a little tough for Lance Thomas to keep up with. In my opinion, look for one of the Plumleys to maybe get a start in this game. They might need an athletic body to really post up on him.
Yeah, and in the Sweet 16, if the Blue Devils do make it, they'll face number 23 ranked Texas A&M, which could be another interesting matchup. They gave Kansas a little bit of trouble, didn't they?
Totally discounting Purdue there, Taylor?
I think that Texas A&M will take Purdue, but I guess that's up for debate as well.
Well, we have to talk about Purdue a little bit. Purdue, of course, losing Robbie Hummel. I mean, can we even call a Siena upset at the first round an upset at this point?
I don't think so.
All right, so let's go to Texas A&M. They are the number 23 in the country, team in the country, and they have Donald Sloan, a 18-point-a-game guard, who's another one of those maybe tough matchup nightmares for the Duke guards to guard.
Yeah, definitely. I completely agree. And then finally, I guess moving on to the Elite Eight, the Blue Devils do have a good chance of making the Final Four, given their bracket. As good of a chance as they possibly could, I guess you could say. And Villanova is a great opponent for them, for Duke. They have just two players that are over 6'8", so Duke will have a big advantage inside, especially if Zubek keeps producing the way he has. And yeah, Scotty Reynolds is gonna score a lot of points for them, but I think that's about as good of a matchup as Duke could have asked for.
An interesting subplot in this game, another transfer, Taylor King, who was a three-point specialist for the Duke a couple of years ago, and he's playing pretty good minutes for Villanova this year.
Second leading rebounder now.
Really? I did not know that. Nothing spectacular, but it'll still be an interesting story to follow and see if he can exact a little revenge on his former team.
Yep. Well, enjoy watching the games and be sure to come back and check in with the Chronicle Sports blog soon.
Thanks for watching.
Whoa.